Oh, Mech Warriors, Digital Angel back for another video. This faction event has shown me, or reminded me, I should say, of one thing. That unfortunately PGI has never given us a tutorial at all on faction. There are a few out on YouTube that are pretty good. Most of them are dated. Kind of Joshy used to have a really good one. There's a couple others out there. But there's been changes to faction since all of those were made. I have a bunch of friends who usually stay on the quick play side of the game, don't really touch faction much, and running with them some last night. I jumped on my little tier 5 Smurf account that doesn't even have a single mastered mech, and I was trying to go with them. I at least, help them understand what some of the objectives were. But when you're running around faction and trial mechs, we kind of got our butts kicked left and right, and pretty much knew that was going to happen. But we did grind some of our points. We did get some of the rewards back on my main account, which is on the clan side. And I will be the first to admit there is a balance issue between clan and IS and faction. It's apparently worse than I remembered it being. Now the fact that yesterday we were running around in trial mechs, didn't have skills, didn't have mastery, didn't have my setups and modules and everything else on it. That makes a hell of a difference. It really does. But there is a reason why all these big clan versus IS events usually end in the clan's favor. Part of that is where the competitive units are. But part of it is there are some balance issues. Mastered mech versus mastered mech. Clan has an advantage at range. Their weapons tend to be longer range. They tend to be lighter. Now their autocannons do spread damage out, and their lasers do have longer duration, so it's harder to hold all of the damage on a single component. But all of the siege maps, so the old mode faction, what most people still think of when you say invasion for faction, is the siege game mode. All of those bases have choke points at the gates. Some of them, really just have long shooting galleries that are hard to avoid coming up on some of the gates. And so, especially if clan is on the defending side, their range will just tear you apart as you approach. Now, for siege, defender always has a bit of an advantage, at least in attack. Counter-attack could be argued, because they have the turrets and they can set up a firing line before you ever get there, and from their drop zone to where the battle takes place is shorter, so they can reinforce faster. There's some of those things you can't avoid. Or you can do a little bit about, but not a whole lot. But today I'm going to focus on the scouting side for this video. It's a little simpler, since they banned Stormcrows out of the mechs I own. My weapon of choice for scouting on clan side is my Viper C. 5 small lasers, 2 in each arm, 1 with CP, 4 machine guns. There's the exact build I use. Nothing fancy, nothing special. Modules for small laser range, machine gun range, small laser cooldown, radar deprivation. Just help me pump out a little more damage a little faster. So let's go see what we can do here. Hopefully it won't take too long to find a match. There we go, didn't take very long at all. Scouting usually isn't too bad to find a match in. Okay, so we're going to be gathering intel. Our win condition is get to the drop ship, at least one team member alive, get to the drop zone with at least one intel point. Realistically, what scouting usually turns into is what team can kill the other first, and then worry about the drop zone afterwards. But that is not the actual win objective. Now, the event only requires a win, not certain match score, which is unusual and thankful, because unfortunately Gathering Intel, while they did start making it give you a little bit of C-bills and a little bit of XP, doesn't give you a squat for match score. So, Polar Highlands, nice big map, nice HB an advantage here. The gathering team and the defending team on these maps pretty much always drop in the same places. Scouting, there's 40 potential intel points on the map. It'll randomly populate 20 of them. So once you learn the maps, you kind of learn where a lot of the clusters of intel are. Especially if you're on the gathering side, you know where to run for right away. On Polar Highlands, there's going to be a bunch of hotel line, and the group of buildings on our right-hand side as we drop is usually going to have a couple over there too.
Extraction team, collect data from the listening beacon and be at the extraction site upon my return.
I'll grab intel from the buildings on the right if y'all want to grab a hotel and Gulf line.
Watch out.
Since this event doesn't require a match score, we just go in for evade combat or blow them up?
I don't mind.
Just go right at them.
Not always exciting, but if we can just avoid combat completely, it's probably the easiest win condition, especially on a map this big.
You're the boss.
See at least one contact. Looks like maybe a cicada up the Juliet line.
I am in transit. Be ready at the extraction site. Dropship out.
And now, as the collectors, once we hit 10 intel, it automatically summons the dropship. Oh yeah, extraction zone Juliet 7. Just collect what you can. This one's in the bag. Usually, they are not that generous on where the extraction zone is, because you until you either kill the enemy team or collect enough intel to summon the ship, you don't know where that extraction zone is going to be. Oh well, fuck, something. Now, dropship should be coming in any second here. It used to, oh yes, it does still help defend. Means dropship MVP.
Extraction team, I've arrived. Stand by for departure.
not die, and done.
Victory, brothers. This information
Choo-choo.
will be invaluable to the Tolman.
Hey, got a kill. Probably got an assist on the second guy. That one,
Job, guys.
because of where the drop zone came in, was really in our favor. But quintessentially, if you're on the collecting side, this event has no match score requirement. That's how you win. Avoid a fight, don't get torn up. Now their side, I mean, they had to stop us from getting out, and especially with the extraction zone coming in where it did, they basically didn't have any choice other than come in and flat out beat us in a fight. Now, the lack of combat, you know, if we'd gone and killed all four of them, loyalty points and match score and such would have been a lot better. But still, we get some for the win, we get some C-bills for the win. Nice, easy end of day. Let's try another match here. Because that one was not a really good example of what scouting usually goes. Usually it kind of turns into a skirmish and then, hey, can we get to the drop zone afterwards? Now all those intel points, both sides can collect them. If the defenders collect the 11th point, it goes ahead and summons the dropship too. So if you're on the defender side, one trick you can use is get 10 and then stop. Okay, see, we're defending this time, so I'll be able to show. If you get 10 and stop, then your opponents have to collect every single intel point left on the map to summon the dropship, or it'll come in on its own when there's only 2 minutes left. But it gives you plenty of time to hunt them down and kill them without having to worry about fighting the dropship too. Don't really know any of these guys, but hey, hopefully we had a good match last time. Hopefully we can do it again. I was really surprised that last match that none of the IS guys were running a Griffin. I saw 2 Hunchbacks, I saw an Oxide. But man, that Griffin 2N is really one of the Inner Sphere's best weapons in scouting. As a brawler, SRMs, and maybe some small pulse lasers, or a flamer or two, is scary. Okay, Libel's coming in with the Hero Huntsman, which, depending on the Omnipod configuration, can do a heck of an SRM build too. Some ways, with the right pod configuration, that's almost scarier than the Storm Crows. But it is a little more restricted on weight, so if you do 5 or 6 SRM6s, you have very little room left for ammo and heat sinks, but on a 4-on-4 fight, you really don't have to carry that much ammo as long as you're a decent shot. 3, 2, 1, drop.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online.
Apparently the game just likes Polar today.
All systems nominal.
Intruders detected. Stop them from escaping with our intel.
Buildings at Juliet 5 are up Gulf and Hotel line, where there's a lot of intel near their drop zone, so probably good areas to look for them. 7, at least 2 of them.
On my way.
Raspberry, come back to the group. We're going to want to take them on as a unit.
Copy.
Yeah, looks like at least one Black Griffin, so that's going to be priority target number 1, and Huntsman so far. 2 Huntsmen. Or, sorry, Bushwhackers, not Huntsmen.
Bushwhacker, yep. Griffin.
Yeah, that Griffin's probably running a ton of SRM. He's going to be target number 1 if you have a shot on him.
They're all here.
Yep, Griffin 2 in. Quad SRM 6 and ECM. Nailed Delta hard.
I'm down.
Griffin down. Focusing on Alpha, let's take it down. Last one left. Nice.
Nice work.
Has been destroyed. You may yet earn a line in the remembrance.
Three kills and assists, 2 subs, 3 KADs, almost 700. Man, and this is why I love this little Viper. When it has a good game in close quarters, it's a nasty build. Nice XP, good C builds. Yeah, well, hell, there's my 400 match score, and that's right. I don't think scouting counts towards that in the event. I'll have to go look at that. But they put up a good fight, though. They really did. If they had focused us a little bit harder instead of being scattered, that fight may have gone very, very differently. But yeah, defenders, find the guys collecting, kill them before they can get to the dropship. Now, if they're running like a couple locusts or something very, very quick and scatter, especially on a big map, it's very, very hard to hunt them down because, I mean, defenders kind of have to stay somewhat grouped up because you know you have to fight, so you want numbers on your side. And if the collectors scatter to the winds, it's a lot harder to find them. But if you find them, you're gonna beat them. But you know, something like 4 locusts or something, you're just good luck catching. Clan doesn't have anything that can catch a locust, or a commando with full-size engine. But that's it. Nice 2 quick examples of scouting. I'm going to put this up. I'm definitely soon as I can process it, going to be sending the guys on my team, hey, here's kind of how to run scouting, what to do, what not to do. Hopefully it can help somebody else out there. Probably later this afternoon I'll be putting together a quick one on Siege as well, but with the rotating windows that may take me some trial and error to catch the right time. So this is Digital Angel signing off, and I really hope this helps you guys.